The Dollhouse of Nightmares. Sophie loved collecting antique dolls and was thrilled when she found a beautiful, intricately designed dollhouse in a forgotten antique store. The store owner warned her that the dollhouse had a sinister past, but Sophie dismissed it as a mere story to increase the item's allure. Excited, she brought the dollhouse home and placed her favorite dolls inside. That night, Sophie heard faint music and soft laughter coming from the dollhouse. She watched in horror as the dolls began moving on their own, reenacting scenes of horror and despair. One doll in particular seemed to be the ringleader, orchestrating the terrifying events. As the nights went on, the dolls became more aggressive, and Sophie began experiencing nightmarish visions of the dolls attacking her. She tried to destroy the dollhouse, but every time she did, it would magically reassemble itself, with the dolls even more menacing. Desperate, Sophie consulted a local historian who revealed that the dollhouse was cursed. It had belonged to a twisted family who practiced dark rituals, trapping the souls of their victims inside the dolls. To break the curse, Sophie needed to find the family's hidden spellbook and perform a ritual to free the trapped souls. With the historian's help, Sophie found the spellbook and performed the ritual. As she completed the final incantation, the dolls screamed and burst into flames. The dollhouse crumbled into ashes, and Sophie felt a heavy weight lift from her shoulders. She never collected dolls again, forever haunted by the memories of the Dollhouse of Nightmares. The Haunted Heirloom. Emma and Jake inherited a grand Victorian mansion from Emma's grandmother. While exploring the attic, they discovered an antique porcelain doll with a note attached, warning them never to remove it from the house. Intrigued but skeptical, they placed the doll in their bedroom as a decorative piece. That night, Emma had vivid nightmares of the doll walking around the house, whispering to her in an unknown language. She woke up to find the doll sitting at the foot of her bed, its eyes seemingly following her. Over the next few days, strange things began happening in the house. Objects moved on their own, cold drafts swept through the rooms, and they heard eerie giggling. Desperate for answers, Emma researched the doll's history and discovered that it belonged to a girl who had died mysteriously in the house a century ago. The girl's spirit was believed to be trapped in the doll, seeking revenge on anyone who disturbed her rest. Fearing for their lives, Emma and Jake decided to return the doll to the attic. However, as they climbed the stairs, the doll's eyes glowed, and they felt an invisible force pushing them back. In a final, desperate attempt, they smashed the doll into pieces. As they did, the house shook violently, and a ghostly figure of the girl appeared, screaming before vanishing into thin air. The house fell silent, but the couple knew they would never forget the terror they experienced. The Dollmaker's Curse. In a small town, there was a legendary dollmaker named Mr. Harrison. He created the most lifelike dolls anyone had ever seen. However, there was a dark secret behind his craftsmanship. Mr. Harrison used a forbidden spell to trap the souls of children who visited his shop into the dolls he created. One day, a curious girl named Lily wandered into the shop, fascinated by the beautiful dolls. Mr. Harrison, seeing her as the perfect next victim, gifted her a doll named Emily. That night, Lily woke up to whispers and found Emily standing by her bed, staring at her with lifeless eyes. Terrified, Lily tried to get rid of the doll, but it always reappeared in her room. Lily's parents, worried about their daughter's behavior, decided to confront Mr. Harrison. They found the shop abandoned and filled with hundreds of dolls, each with a trapped child's soul. In the center of the shop was a large, ominous book with the spell Mr. Harrison used. The parents tried to reverse the spell, but instead unleashed the spirits. The dolls came to life, and the last thing Lily and her parents heard was the haunting laughter of children echoing through the night.